So I'd imagine when a lot of people come to you, they have some preconceived notions about what their case is worth. So from hundreds of different settlements and verdicts, et cetera, what do you feel like, or what is your experience on the average car accident settlement?
You know, what a great question. So from what I've read and what I'd say around $25,000. And that's taking into account the low cases, the $10,000, $15,000 cases, as well as the $1 million cases. And now I think that's across the board. I frankly think that when the case is in our office, the average is higher than that because we're good lawyers, we're trial lawyers. People know we demand the highest price. And also, about my office, if someone's got a lower car accident case, I tell them to go handle it on your own, because it's harder for me and my law firm to add value to a $15,000 car crash case versus a $500,000 car crash case. So I try to, and I give people free tips, and it's in books that we have on our website about, I say, hey, listen, give them your medical bills, ask for $3,000, and so you can settle on your own. I don't need to take a third of that. I don't need to take a percentage of that. But I think if you look at everything holistically, including people settle on their own and little stuff and that kind of stuff, I think right around $25,000, maybe $30,000. And, you know, sometimes, too, the minimum requirement in insurance is $25,000 in every state, so that kind of drives it low, too.
I was going to say, there's probably influencers on why that's the average.
Right. But most people, so that's the average nation. Now, most people coming in my door, I mean, we're going to try to get you $50,000 on an average case if we can. Now, sometimes those are harder. Depends on the medical. Depends on the severity of your
Depends on the insurance company.
Depends on the insurance. Well, you know, yeah. Well, you know, that takes longer. You know, if an insurance company's being harder, a little more recalcitrant in paying, we just file suit and we litigate it and we keep pushing them until they do. So it takes the time. It takes more time, but not necessarily a lesser settlement.
So why do you feel like some of those come in at the lower amount, like your $15,000 to $20,000 settlements? What are the factors in that? Is it just low insurance? Is it not enough injuries?
It's not low insurance at all. It's a low impact. It wasn't. They didn't even get the car fixed, or it's a little dent, and they went to the ER, and then they went to the chiro twice, and they're done. And so they got $2,000 in medical, and so even you went to a jury and the jury gave you $10,000 for pain and suffering. That's still only a $12,000 case. So really has to do with the injuries. There's a lot of fender benders or lower impact car wrecks where people aren't significantly hurt, thank God. Younger people don't get as hurt as older people. We're not, when we're older, we're more brittle. So it's a variety of factors. But the bottom line is it has to do with how bad you're hurt. Is there any tips that you would give for people that, without going through all the motions that if they called you, you know, obviously you go more in detail, but is there any tips that you would give people regarding, you know, if they have their own, you know, you can see that it's going to be a 15 to 20K case. It's not something that you can add value to. Obviously, you said you don't want to take anything from that. They could get more on their own. Let's just call it, for the sake of time of the essence, 3 tips that you could give people if you were going to say, you know what, you need to take this as a DIY, do it yourself. What would your top 3 tips on that be? Sure. Number 1, go get your medical treatment. Do your follow-up care. Go to the urgent care or ER within 24 hours. Then go to your primary care doctor and go to some chiropractic visits. Get your medical treatment done. And then don't settle until your medical treatment's done. Then get your medical.
So wait till all that's finished.
Wait till you're done, because you don't want to think you're done and then settle it and then have to go to the chiropractor for 20 more visits, or go to an orthopod and get an MRI in your neck and blah, blah, blah. So make sure you've reached your maximum medical permit. You don't need any more medical. I think I probably gave you 2 of the 3 right there.
Okay.
All right. So, and then let me just give you a third one. Send the medical bills to the claims adjuster who's calling you to try to settle the case, and pick a number. You know, I settle plenty of cases for 10 and for $15,000. Not as many for 10, but I'll settle cases for 15. We have friends of the firm. I mean, I try to help everybody I can, and we're not really making money on it, but that's not really. It's about the client, not me. But so So, and sometimes people say, I don't care, I'm too busy, you handle it, I don't want to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. So send it to them and then ask for some money. Start at it $5,000 plus medical or $10,000 plus medical or something like that. See what they do. And if they're playing ball and stuff, and though, can I give you my gem? Can I give you my serious?
Whatever you want to share.
Anybody who's listening, you can always say, hey, listen, if you don't settle with me now, I sent you $2,000 in medical expenses. I want another $2,000. I want $4,000. And they're saying no for $1,000. Say, listen, if you don't settle me for $4,000, I'm going to have to call Gary Berger at Berger Law. And then I'm going to have to hire him, and he's going to do this. I do this to people all the time. I don't even know him. I say, drop my name. Because they'll Google me. They'll know all these people know us. We fight a lot. We've fought a lot of battles for a lot of years. So they know me, and they're like, because they know as soon as I get the case, it's going to add value, and it's stupid for them not to, and it shows that the person is DIY-ing it, but they're not stupid, and they know what they're doing, and they're not going to be a pushover. They're going to stand up for themselves, and that if they don't get satisfaction doing it on their own, the insurance company is going to force them to a lawyer.
What's the biggest thing that you see change once the word attorney or lawyer comes into the conversation?
They settle. They do. You know, when we get involved in cases, the case that even a bigger case. Let's say they're talking to a family, offer them $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. We get involved. We're like, listen, this is a $200,000 case every day of the week. And so the value of the case goes up because they also know that, look, there's a lot of other good lawyers out there, but we're very proud of our reputation and not settling for less and insisting that our clients get full compensation for their injuries. Not 50% compensation, but the full compensation for this lifelong injury they sustain. And insurance companies know it. And if they're not going to pay us, we're going to file suit. We're going to keep going till we get it.